Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're finally here. Friday the 13th, part 7, The New Blood. And we're doing this on a Wednesday night. We're back to Wednesday nights, at least for right now, anyways. How's it going, guys?
Good, good.
Good. How are you?
All right. Look, we're finally going to be able to do this. We had some schedule changes and stuff like that. So hopefully, some of the folks that wanted to see this episode will see it, at least now, or hopefully on replay. But I'm excited to talk about this, man, because this is the beginning of the Kane Hodder era in Friday the 13th,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's see who we have in the chat. We'll get a quick take on what's happening and we'll get going on this thing, man. Let's see. We got Castellars in the chat. Tina versus Jason, right?
Yes.
And many people call this Carrie versus Jason. True enough. True
Yes.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony's in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? Love the look of Jason, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame the MPAA cut so much of the gore out of this movie. Maybe one day we'll get an unrated version. You know, it'd be
Yeah. I
nice,
don't think
but I
so.
don't think it'll happen, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously. I
Right?
don't, unfortunately. Bluck is in the chat too. The original idea for the movie Jason versus Carrie, but they couldn't negotiate rights for Carrie, so they just named the character Tina and changed some backstory. I don't know about
Yeah.
that. That could be it. I mean, originally, and we'll get to this too. Originally, what they wanted to do is have Jason versus Freddy, but they did not get a chance to do that because of the rights and so forth. So they went with this story instead. What's up, James? What's up? Robin's in the chat. What's up, Knight and everyone? What's going on? What's
Hello.
going on?
Hey.
Steven's in the chat. What's up? What's up? We got my man DMC in the chat. Hey, Night Coriander, you really could say Dr. Cruz was putting people before himself, such as letting Tina's mom have first dibs on Jason's blades.
Yes.
this this is my second favorite of the franchise. All right, nice, nice. Barnabas, what's going on? Hey, Night Watch.
Hello.
Hey.
Brendan's in the chat. Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm late. No problem. We're just getting going, and we know we
Right?
usually try to give people at least a minute or two to kind of get situated in the chat. I know how that goes with notifications. Joel saw this in the theater back in the day.
Nice. That's
Nice.
awesome.
What's up, Valerie? How's it going? How's it going? All right, guys, let's do this quick take. You guys know how we roll with this. I mean, this is our seventh movie in this series. We're going strong,
Mm-hmm.
and we are happy to do it. So, Kill, I'll start with
Mhm.
you. What's your vibe on The New Blood as a quick take?
I love this movie. This is hands down my favorite look for Jason.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the whole kind of black like one piece suit on. He's half zombie.
Mm-hmm.
You see his spinal cord. I mean, the chain
Yeah.
around the neck. He just looks badass. And of course,
Mm,
it's Kane. So come
mm-hmm.
on,
Mm-hmm.
this is one of my favorites of the series.
Yeah.
Right, right. Okay, Coriander. Miss Coriander, what about you? What's your quick take?
Yeah, just like Killian, this is like one of my favorites too. And
Mm-hmm.
I love how in this movie you actually see Jason getting his ass kicked. This is like the only movie where you
Mm,
see that. And I love
right?
that it's just kind of like Carrie because Carrie got me into horror. So the mix of
Mm-hmm.
that and Jason, it's like perfect. I loved it.
Mm.
Oh, well, I
That
love it.
Yeah, that's a great point too, because man, Kane put in work, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Kane was
Hmm.
getting his ass kicked. I mean, and
Yes, he
he even
was.
talked about the bumps and the bruises. I'm telling you, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
Robin saying Dr. Cruz is the villain. I think I agree.
he
He really
is.
was. Shout out to Weekend at
Yeah.
Bernie's for you guys that grew up in the '80s. You know what I'm talking about,
You can't
Oh,
trust
yeah.
Bernie.
right?
Right?
Coriander is so pretty. Yes, she is. She is.
Thank you.
Valerie saying seven is one of my top picks of the franchise. There we go. You know,
Yeah,
guys,
it
I'm
Nice.
is.
I'm glad to
Yeah.
see that seven is getting some love because I know for a while, especially back in the day, it wasn't getting as much love, and I'm glad to
Mm.
see that people are enjoying it. So we're gonna talk about those things, talk about some of the high points with you for a few minutes. We're gonna give other people a chance to come into the live chat if they choose to do so. We're gonna get finished getting set up for a quick minute. So for you guys in the chat, for you guys watching the replay, sit back, relax. We're going back to Camp Crystal Lake with the Kane Hodder era. You know what time it is.
Damn.
Yeah, boy. My boy
Yeah.
Cade. All right, let's we got some more people that have jumped in. So that's great. We gave people a chance. My man Lamar. Lamar's in the chat. What's up, man?
Hey.
What's
Hey.
up? Brendan saying, I love Tina. She is so Carrie. Very beautiful, right? Very much
Yeah.
so. Lar Park Lincoln did a hell of a job in this movie.
Yes.
Francie's in the chat. What's up, man?
Hello. Nice.
Hey, guys. Love this movie. This is where the timeline gets really interesting, right? Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. The axe in the head is my favorite kill, right? That was a good
Isn't
one
it?
too, man.
Yeah, that chick
Oh
deserved
my
it.
God. Right? And if you guys do have questions, we'll answer some of those questions in a little bit too. I see a couple of questions here, so hopefully we'll try to get to those in a little bit. The sleeping bag kill. Do I need to say more? Right?
Right.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Although, I do have to say, I do like the sleeping bag kill in 10 better, though. Just saying.
That what? Yeah, good call. Good call. All right, guys, let's get through some of the high points and talk some Jason. I mean, Kill. Let's start this thing off, man. The movie starts up. The wonderful voiceover by the late great Walt Gurney, aka Crazy Ralph. You know, the Jason Voorhees curse. Some have tried to stop him. No one can. You know, it's great shit, man. What were you thinking, man?
Man, like I loved his character before he went away. He's the OG Harbinger, man. It's the
Right.
death curse.
Right.
What's really interesting for me is this one coming off the heels of the last one, which kind of was the topper of the Tommy kind of story arc, which between that one and this one, they're two of my favorites of the series. So for me, it's kind of like a bang bang. And of course, like Coriander said a little earlier, this is the beginning of like the Kane Hodder run. And I just love this one just for so many reasons. Not only because Kane and the physicality that he brought to it, or the look of Jason, but this is also kind of, if you're a fan of like comic books or X-Men, this is like Tina before she joins, Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, man.
Right, because, Jean Grey.
yeah, because she's badass, and like Coriander was saying earlier, we never see Jason getting his ass handed to him.
Right?
And he was catching a bad one left and right.
Yeah,
yes, he was.
So yeah, I mean, this one, man, it like, for one, just the way it starts off with the voiceover, it just started off on a good foot for me. So I could keep going, but I'm gonna let someone else talk because I really love this one.
Absolutely. Well, Coriander, let me know what you were thinking. I mean, we start off and we see this young little girl. We have no clue what's going on, but what we do know, as you can see on the calendar, it's October 13th, and that's a Friday. So, introducing this character the way they did, what were your thoughts in the beginning of this film and how they kind of started to flesh Tina's character out?
I mean, it was good. It showed that she came from a dysfunctional family. Her father was abusive to the mother. So this poor kid obviously just wants to protect her mom. Yeah. And you see, she's got telekinesis powers, and she kills her dad, and that's tragic. And she obviously regrets that for pretty much up until till however old she is now. So that obviously that really, I mean, who wouldn't affect that? Who wouldn't be affected by that? That's crazy shit. So I really liked how it began. It showed that she was a troubled girl who didn't know how to control her powers.
Right. So, absolutely. And that's Jennifer Banco, by the way, who was also in some other movies, most notably Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Fanboy.
And I was just about to say, yes, she has a role in 13 Fanboy, and we had our wonderful interview with Miss Deborah Voorhees. And if you guys have checked out the movie, obviously you'll see Jennifer all grown up and having a nice role in it, actually.
And not only that, can I just say I'm going to do a little, thing here. Deborah, the movie just came out on DVD to buy. So it's available now. And the other day she was saying how her movie was ranked third. And then I think
Yes.
even second out of, right behind friggin', what was it? Scream, I think it came out first. So her movie's doing really good.
Excellent.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to
Yeah.
support Deborah Voorhees because there were a lot of Friday the 13th old schoolers in that movie. And it was good, man. It was good. It was good. Frenzy was saying the dorky chick kill breaks my heart every time, right? I thought she was going to get away at first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Blucka saying after Mortal Kombat video games got the rights to put Jason versus Rambo, I've always wondered what a movie would look like with those two. There'd be a lot of blood.
Nice.
A lot of blood. Joel saying the great voiceover from Walt. He should have never been killed in part 2. Right? Yeah. Yes. Steven saying that it was one of the best horror screams ever. Her scream was really good because it like echoed, man. It was crazy. Yeah, it was a good kill. I thought she was going to get away at first, man. I really did, you know. My man Steven's in the chat saying, hey, Night, Killian, and Coriander, hope you're all having a great night. We are, brother. We are.
Yeah.
We're talking Jason, Steven. I mean, how could we not?
Right?
You know, it's great, you know. Valerie saying, I love the whole scene when Tina electrocutes Jason. That scene looks so amazing. It really does. And let me just say this, and I'll say my little piece, and then we'll go back to you, Kill. I think in this movie, they really took a lot of pride in showcasing Jason, the camera shots, the camera angles. I mean, he looked really good in this movie as far as how they presented his camera shots, you know. But of course, the makeup effects, the prosthetics on Kane Hodder were fantastic. I mean, he looked amazing. I remember seeing this movie as a kid, and I was literally just like taken back by how he was, you know, just so decrepit, and you could see his spine and the bones and all those types of things. It was great. But I think what was cool about this movie, kind of piggyback off of what you were saying, Coriander, is we see that Tina had a lot of trauma growing up, and she's coming back to Crystal Lake because her psychiatrist, played by Terry Kaiser, wants to help, quote unquote, help her. And of course, he's a very interesting character. And so it was a different way to introduce Crystal Lake and the reason for being there. And she meets Nick and the kids next door that are just there to party. And it was a nice little setup. I actually really enjoyed the cast quite a bit. Kevin Spirtus, he played Nick, and I thought he was good in this situation. You know, they had a little bit of a romance that was happening, but it wasn't over the top, you know, or too lovey-dovey or whatever. And of course, you had the quintessential bitch, Melissa, played by Susan Jennifer Sullivan. And she was just, every scene she was in was magnetic. Kill, what did you think of the cast and how the story started to shape up in the beginning?
I love the cast because, well, for one, it's so interesting how you're having two segments merged together. You're having Tina, her mom, and her psychiatrist merging with this group of, you know, counselors next door, you know, the kids next door. You know, you got some couples in there. You got, like you said, the bitchy character. I just think she was misunderstood. You know, she was just misunderstood. No, you know. But then you have like Nick. So it's once again they do this thing where they don't go too deep into the characters, but they go deep enough that you get a vibe for all of them. And you get a vibe for where they are in their social construct.
Yes,
and
placement.
Right.
Yeah, and it's very well done, and the pacing is just so on point that it doesn't really have to slow down and say, this guy is a jock and this guy is a weirdo and this is the stoner. You just kind of you get a feel for all of them, and they're all likable for the most part. Even the bitchy character, she's likable in a way because she stirs the pot. You know, she is the catalyst for so many times where Tina has to strangle her with her pearls, or just Tina has to break something because this chick keeps pissing her off. Like, you know,
look at that look on Lara's face, man.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with that young lady. You don't. You're not about that life.
Right?
You know. So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I really enjoyed and look at that shit-eating grin. I
Yeah.
Yes.
really I
Damn.
really enjoyed the all of the kids. I thought they were really really good.
Yes, absolutely. And Coriander to kind of you laughing. And
That grin.
I know, man. She was
It's-
just like, yeah,
You
man.
know she's about to say some messed up stuff.
Right? Right? Absolutely, man. And so Coriander, now obviously we saw the scene where Tina is so emotional. And again, Lara Park Lincoln, I thought she did a heck of a job. I really do.
yeah.
And even as a kid, when I saw this movie, I appreciated what she was doing because she had to be in a lot of different areas emotionally. But she brings
Yeah.
Jason back. Thanks a lot, Tina. Maybe we should blame Tommy before that. We wouldn't have been in this mess if it wasn't for Tommy, but it is what it is.
It's true.
Let's get to
Yeah.
some of the kills, Coriander. I know you've had you have a couple that are favorite. I want to talk about when you're crushing a head, and in the script, it basically said that the head was crushed like a pimple, like a ripe pimple. I mean, what did you think
Damn.
about some of these kills, which obviously were neutered by the MPAA?
Yeah, to think if this movie had the gore, I mean, this probably would be like one of my favorite ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but what they did show, I mean, it wasn't bad. Like when his
Yep. Yep.
girlfriend got stuck in the eye, right, with the horn and it
Mm-hmm.
tooted and
Yeah.
it had its moments, and you
Right.
can just imagine, right, with the circular saw. That was
Mm-hmm.
always my favorite, because
Yep.
whoever has seen any type of killer use a fucking circular saw.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it was like, yeah, it was great. And even when that dude was on the beach and his face got slashed, that
Yes.
one wasn't bad either.
Mm-hmm.
So but if it just had that gore, it just would have made it that much better. But
Yeah.
it was still really fun to watch. This is like, yeah, this is a real good one.
Yeah, I mean, even with that being said, with the MPAA, it still is shocking when you really look at it how good the movie still is, and I think that's
Mhm.
because of the camera work. Again, John Carl Buechler, who directed it, I mean, he was not a rookie. He was well versed in his craft, and he came from
Mhm.
special effects and stunt work and stuff like that, and he did a heck of a job. This movie has
Yeah.
the most stunts of any Friday the 13th, and obviously Kane
Yes.
was a big part of that. And I think the
Yeah.
physicality that Kane Harder brought to the movie made up for what the MPAA took away. You get what I'm saying? I
Totally.
mean, you had so
Yes.
many scenes where Kane is, walking or stalking or doing whatever, and he does that little,
Mhm.
that little turn and that little breath, and you knew
His
exactly what
jaw, the way
yes,
he moved his jaw.
you knew exactly what Jason was thinking without a single fucking word. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
all credit to Kane, man. Seriously. Um,
Mhm.
and Kill, before I get to you real quick, DMC was saying what made Cruz worse is that Tina was never going to escape Cruz's care in the hospital. I felt even if she went along with things, once he got published, she would have gone straight back. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad news, Cruz. No doubt
Mm.
about that. But that's what made it really, really cool, man. You know?
Yeah.
Well, well, well. Look who's here. It's Corey. What's
Hello.
up? What's up,
Hey.
man? I was just watching a past show in here. They are. What's up, man? How you doing? Hope everything's going well. Talking about part 7, man. Just some great stuff. The hockey mask is iconic. I think the burlap sack was scarier. Oh,
Oh
okay. So
no.
Sack
Killian.
boy time,
Yeah.
Kill. Sack boy. Now, what do
Hey.
you think? What do you think, Kill? Because I know you're a big proponent of Sackboy. What did you think of this look? Because I wanted to get a little bit more into that too. This look of Jason, the decomposition and stuff like that.
Oh, I loved it. And honestly, yeah, I don't know if it's the way Kane and his physique is,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mhm.
he looks. I mean, he's a buff boy in this. He's a
Big.
buff
Right.
Yeah.
boy, and
Mm-hmm.
he's supposed to be more decomposed, but he's muscularly decomposed. I mean,
Right.
Yeah,
uh,
he is.
and I love the spinal cord look from the
Mhm.
back, because
Mm-hmm.
and you alluded to it a little earlier, Night. The money was well spent.
Right. Right. Right.
From every angle he looks cool. From the
Right.
back profile here, looks
Mm-hmm.
amazing and cool. From the front,
Mm-hmm.
looks amazing and cool. When he doesn't have
Mhm.
the hockey mask on, he looks
Yeah.
amazing and cool. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yep.
wow, they have you covered every angle and every composition. The money
Right.
was well spent. And unfortunately, because Tina's whooping that ass, you're going to see all those different parts of him in versions. So,
Right.
so I salute you, Kane. You went through hell for this, but we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
art.
Mhm.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let's see. James was saying my favorite scenes when Jason killed Dr. Cruz for being a douchebag to Tina. Right? That
Yes.
Yep.
scene, first of all, let's go back to Terry Kaiser. Shout out to Terry Kaiser. Bad News
Oh
Cruz.
man.
Coriander, that scene where he's running, and we've skipped all over the place, but you guys know the movie, so we're just getting to high points. But he knows that something's up. He also had the newspaper
Yes.
clippings of Crystal Lake and so
Mhm.
forth. So he knew
He took the
what
damn
was up.
spike too
He
when
took the
Tina
spike out.
first brought Jason back, and
That's
yeah,
right.
he was just sketchy from the beginning, man.
That's right. And when they were looking for Tina, Dr. Cruz and Tina's mother, he
Mm.
was already about going back to the cabin. He didn't want to be in the
Yeah.
woods. But that
He
scene
even
where they
told her, "I'm leaving, and however
right,
you get back is up to you. I'm gone."
right. But what about
So
that scene
yeah.
where he used her as a human shield, man?
Oh,
Right?
man.
What a douche. Just like this guy saying, yeah, James, he is a douchebag.
I would just like to interject one thing, and you guys, if you followed us, you'll know some of these names.
Yeah.
Dr. Cruz goes down in history as some of the other worms, like Burke from
Burke from
Aliens,
Aliens, right? My man.
okay,
Yeah.
Cypher from The Matrix, and Dr. Cruz. I mean, dude, you are an asshole of epic proportions, and you
I gotta
deserve to
write
be
that
up there.
down.
Yeah, Burke, Cypher, and Cruz. I'm sorry. That's
We
the
gotta
Mount
do an
Rushmore
episode on
of
that.
worms. Yes, guys, let us know if you would like us to do an episode of like the biggest
A-holes.
POCs, pieces of shit, or POS.
Shit.
Oh
Because I'm
man, that was
sorry,
good.
Dr. Cruz is terrible, Burke is terrible, and Cypher,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
But I'm sorry, I just needed to
Mhm.
interject that.
That was good, man. We'll have to do that for our new series, The Brass Tacks, man. That'd be good. Lamar saying it was a lot of gays or gay things hinted in this, and it was called Friday the 13th. Laugh out loud. I'm bi, so don't cancel me. You won't be canceled, man. And they did. That was the nickname for it. Was Friday the
Yeah.
13th, Part 7. But
Mhm.
I didn't have any issue with it whatsoever, man. Even as a
No.
obviously as a kid, a lot of things go over your head. But even as I grew up, and even as an adult, it was like, hey, man, it's a good movie. It really was, and still is.
Mhm.
Corey saying, "I love me some New Blood," right? And
Yeah,
Corey,
you
Yeah.
do.
I'm telling you, man, I'm so glad that we got people here that are showing it some love because and I know you know this, Corey. I mean, for so many years, a lot of people looked down upon it, and they weren't
Mm.
really big Friday 13th Part 7 fans. But I think it's a really, really good movie. It really
Hmm.
It
is.
is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, just think of like all the shit like we keep saying that Kane went through. That
Mhm.
damn porch, seal, what do I want to say?
The
Roof came
window.
down on
Yeah, the
him.
roof.
He fell
Mhm.
through stairs,
Yeah, he did.
electrocuted, he was put on fire. I mean, come
Mhm.
on. This
Mhm.
is crazy.
Absolutely. And of course, things like the sleeping bag kill, the MPAA. I mean,
Yeah.
if you ever and you can find this stuff online, guys, but especially in the Crystal Lake Memories documentary, which all three of us have. We've got the book,
Yes.
we've got the DVD or the Blu-rays, I should say. I've got it streaming. Like it's ridiculous how many copies of this thing I have. But for a Friday 13th fan, personally speaking, just my opinion, it's essential because it really gives you so many behind the scenes things. But they talked about how this kill was so different, or I should say, so
Yeah.
much more extended. They had I think Kane said there was like 20 something like 20 gallons of blood in the sleeping bag and all this type of stuff, and they cut it down to where what it is now, where it's a quick hit, the bag drops, and you see her coming out of it. And he talks about how it's one of the few times where cutting the scene actually worked to its advantage. And
Yeah.
I agree, man. It's a great. I know Coriander. That's a favorite scene of yours. Although, like you said in Part 10, they really ramp it up, man.
Yeah,
But
they do.
Right.
But let's get to the Maddie kill too, man, because I just wanted to give credit. I don't have all the shots from the scene, but I want to give credit to the cinematography, guys. What did you guys think about this kill, the way it was shown? Kane, kind of in the background and him giving those looks. And, again, when Kane and nobody.
Coriander?
Oh,
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I was like, what happened to the internet? But like with Kane, the way he moved, the way he would turn his head and all those types of things, did that really ramp it up for you? Because I know, especially when I saw this as a kid, I was like, man, I'm pretty damn scared of this guy. What did you think of those types of things?
Yeah, I mean, all the mannerisms, and little Kane ticks that he brought
Yes.
to Jason are just iconic. And no
Yes.
disrespect to his predecessors, no disrespect at
Yeah.
all, but it's just something that he brought to this character, not only the
Mm-hmm.
physicality, but just all those little things. It's the same way as someone looking at Arnold's version of the Terminator and all of the
Yeah.
things that he brings to that character with not even having to talk a lot, but just the way he'll move his eyes first, then his head,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
things of that nature.
Absolutely.
And, Kane has a mask on the whole time, sort of like something Coriander said earlier, but you can
Mm-hmm.
tell what he's saying without him having to say anything. And that is scary, especially when he's stalking you.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
and it's like we can see things that the person on the screen can't. It's like, oh, good.
right.
yeah.
Right. No, I was gonna say the way he moved, the way he would turn and he'd take that breath and it's kind of like you could just tell when he was amped up. The only other portrayal, and I know you guys know where I'm gonna go with this, the only other portrayal that really gave me that oomph, like that as far as physicality was my boy Richard Brooker. Shout out, rest in peace to Richard Brooker from part 3 with that. You know what I'm gonna say, Kill, with that crisp, that clean hockey mask, thanks to Shelley. And I thought Richard Brooker had some really cool physicality in his movements too. And I think Kane really even went beyond that. So when you had these scenes like with Maddie, like it really, for me, it amped up everything. Coriander, what did you think of this scene? Because you had the thunder and lightning, and the camera work was really cool. Kane is looking through the crack in the in the in
Yeah.
the in the wood,
I
and I mean it was
yeah.
great.
I loved when that lightning's, because she's looking through the cracks and then the lightning happens and he
Hmm.
instantly like notices her and
Yes,
yeah, it's
he
it's just
kind of goes
so
like that. Yeah,
yes, yes. It was
yeah,
great. It
I
just sucks
agree.
that yeah, like we all say, the gore got cut and
Yeah,
yeah, it's a bummer. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It wasn't
right,
it's not like my favorite kill, but
right.
it's not bad.
Yeah, but I loved Kane's physicality in that scene as he's walking.
Yeah.
She can see through the crack in the boards or whatever.
Hmm.
Corey saying Melissa's death was so good, it tossed her ass across the room and went to business. Right, man. I mean, like,
Yes.
and when he did that, I was like, man, Tina and Nick, they're dead, man. Because literally, Kane is so big, and Lar Park Lincoln even said that Kane is so big, he takes up half of that room and he was
Yeah.
literally within arm's reach, and it was just like, wow, man, it was really, really cool. But let's get to that part. Let's get to the final confrontation. And I was saying this to Coriander, because we watched this again, just to kind of get that full vibe on the movie. But you had a
Hmm.
really good Friday the 13th movie, right? You had good kills, you had a good cast, you had great makeup effects, practical effects. Kane Hodder's bringing the physicality, right? But
Hmm.
then you had like a whole, I don't know what, 15-minute or so segment where it's Jason versus Tina. It's like,
Yes.
yes, kill that scene that I always love. You know what I want, which one I'm talking to. I love it so much. I put it in our intros when she walks into the road and the camera is facing Kane, and he's just standing there like what, and it kind of goes that dun dun dun. I mean, tell me what you thought in that scene, man, because I just thought, number one, it was so cool, and what a way to showcase Jason.
Yeah, I mean, man, in a way, it for me, it felt kind of like I was about to watch a main event. Like
Yes.
Right?
I
In
should
this
see like
corner.
yeah, in this corner
From Camp Crystal Lake.
Jason Voorhees. Yeah, like I mean, it just looked like, oh shit, it's about to go down. Because you
Yes.
have this character who has these powers, but she still can't fully control them. But
Mhm.
it's almost getting to that point where she has no choice but to finally kind of have a rumble with this guy, a showdown with this guy. And
Mhm.
nothing on earth is gonna ever scare Jason. It doesn't
Right.
matter who you
Just
could be.
pisses him
Freddy
off.
Krueger, yeah, you could be
Yeah.
Freddy, you could be Tina. It
Mhm.
doesn't. You could Tommy. It doesn't matter. He's gonna come at you with
Mhm.
everything he's got.
Mhm.
And like you said earlier with the Kaneisms, he's sitting there. He's like, just like,
Exactly.
oh, like,
Right?
And when she,
Yeah.
starts squeezing his mask into his head, right? And when it
Mhm.
pops and he
Yeah.
turns around and his jaw, he's like grinding it. And
Yes.
yeah, he's mad. Yeah,
And
yeah,
and
it's great.
with that look, he's like, yeah, you ripped my mask. What? Like, okay.
right.
Yeah,
And
right.
credit to John Carl Buechler again, the director, because he told Kane, he said, I want you to kind of move your jaw a certain way and really getting into it. Great
Yeah.
scenes, man. Great scenes. I want to back
Mhm.
up too because look at this. Kane is literally Kane is literally like having a party with these guys. It's like what's gonna happen? And also credit again. I want to back up too. Again, I thought Laura Park Lincoln was so good as Tina. You've got that wonderful axe death and poor Melissa.
Mhm.
I mean, she had no clue.
Poor
Look at
Melissa, stop
the
it.
the look on her the
Yeah.
look on her face was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you should
You
have
know what I'm
listened,
saying?
bitch.
Right.
Oh, Melissa was misunderstood. That's okay, Melissa.
Right.
Oh,
I got your
stop
back.
Right. And I mean, look, man, Tina was putting some work on Jason,
Yeah.
okay? Like,
Mhm.
seriously, the stunts they did in this movie, these were the most stunts ever in a Friday the 13th movie. And of course, we got to talk about the fire burn sequence, Coriander, which it's well documented. We all know that the Kane Hodder,
Yeah.
he obviously had a career as a stuntman. As a matter of fact, that's why John Carl Buechler wanted him for the role, because he knew
Mhm.
that not only was Kane a good stuntman, but he was a stunt coordinator. He had a great physicality, and he really took it to those levels. Like, he did not phone in
Yeah.
performances, and I think it was a great call. But Kane had an accident with a fire accident years before
Yeah, he
this,
did.
and he has burns. You can even see that on his neck and his body and so forth.
Mhm.
So when they did this scene and he said, "Yeah, I'm going to do the fire burn," at the time, the longest fire burn sequence on film. I mean, first of
Yeah.
all, it looked amazing. What did you think of it, Coriander?
It did. It looked so good because usually, when these people are about to get burned, you can
Mm-hmm.
kind of tell with what they're wearing. It looks different. They look
Right.
bigger. It just looks different. And with
Mm-hmm.
this, you
Good
couldn't
point.
really even notice, how they did it. And yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was incredible. It's one of the best burns, at least for me, because it looked so real.
It did. It really, really did. And Frenzy was saying that Dr. Crew's death is the most disappointing of the whole series for me. Right? I know they cut away from it. Although
Yeah.
I've seen the uncut version of it. And yeah, that would have been a nice one to have, man. Because even Kane Hodder
Mhm.
said, he
He
enjoyed
was such
doing
a
that kill.
douche. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Steven saying that there's no reason these studios should not release the director cuts of all these films on Blu-ray. Yeah, it would be nice, man. But I will say this is that from what I understand, and they talked about this in the documentary, those
Mhm.
scenes are
They're
lost to time. They they
gone.
ac- they actually Paramount had those scenes
Yeah.
destroyed, or I should say the physical, tapes or whatever, film footage
Mm.
destroyed. So in theory, there's no way that they could ever really do
That
an
sucks,
unrated,
man.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
of Friday 7, which is too bad. It is. It is. And like Corey said, it was so close. Yeah. It was, man. It really, really
Right.
was. But unfortunately, the MPAA, and it's crazy because you watch a movie like this and you realize how much was cut from it, but it's actually a well-made movie, everything that's put into
Yeah.
it. And like I said, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again for you guys that don't check us out on Monday nights for Slasher Movie Club. You guys are missing some treats and also some rough watches because we've watched a lot of slasher movies from the 70s throughout the 80s. We still got a ton more to go through, but we've seen some movies where even the acting or the lighting
It's
or the
terrible.
camera work is so bad that you can't even finish the movie. But all of these Friday the 13th movies so far, you just got to give them credit for having that
They're
level of
gems.
skill. Yes.
Comparing them to all these other, pieces of shit that we've had to sit through.
Yeah.
These should have won Oscars.
Hmm. Yeah. Anthony saying, I agree the hockey mask may be more iconic, rightfully so, but there's something about the sack head that is just scarier. Sack
Yeah.
boy. Hey man, I'm not gonna lie, man. When I first saw Friday 13th Part 2, I was like, what? It
Yeah.
did scare me. It really did.
Yeah.
For Alex saying, totally agree, Knight. Just wish that circular saw kill was actually in the movie, like Coriander was alluding to. Right? I know, man. It would have been nice to see that. Because that whole scene was really cool. Even when, Kane
He's
pulls the
chasing him.
ripcord. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. He said that's a real tool.
Yep.
And Kane had never seen that tool before being used and had never seen it since. So it's just funny
Yeah.
how they come up with some of the weirdest shit, things
It was
you'd never
awesome.
really seen, right?
Right?
Castellar is saying Tina's dad should have looked like a corpse. Yeah, and that's another thing too.
They planned on that, but
They
didn't
had the
happen.
makeup done, they had the
Yeah.
prosthetics and everything, but in this movie, again, and this happened in 6 when we talked about 6 in our episode for part 6, you had a producer, one of the producers or whatever, the money folks, that was really, number one, they didn't even want the mask to come off of Jason because I think it was a lady who said, well, he looks like a demented frog looking creature and so forth and so forth, and they were trying to cut corners. And John Carl Buechler, he just tried to do the best he could do. He still took the mask off. And later on, it was thought of as a good move. But Kill, with those types of things involved with the behind the scenes making of this movie, I mean, first of all, what do you think of that type of stuff? Because, as a kid, and even as an adult, if you don't research these types of things, you'd never know the struggles that these people went through to make these movies.
Yeah, man, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best thought out projects, or where they want to cut corners, or they think, oh, the audience won't care,
Right.
if this thing's a purple puff of smoke or whatever. It's just like,
Hey, shout out to
hey,
Galactus.
yeah,
Hey.
and it's just like, come on, guys. I mean, the cutting away from the gore, that's one thing, with the ratings of movies and the war on gore at the time. Okay. But some of the other decisions, especially when they're coming from the money men and money women who aren't there on the ground floor, they're not the fans, they're not the director, they're not the visionary, like, special effects artist. Just leave well alone. Just sit back behind your desk and just rake in the money and just shut up and be happy.
Right?
I'm sorry. And, and,
Mhm.
and, and, and the one last thing I'll say is, I love that we do have resources like Crystal Lake memories and so forth of things,
Yes.
so we can really see the behind the scenes of all of these movies, to really
Mhm.
celebrate the men and women that have bled, sweated, had sleepless nights making these great
Yeah.
films. And
Yeah.
regardless of if their scenes are in the movie or not, we can
Mhm.
appreciate their hard work and just kind of
Absolutely.
thank them for
Abs-
everything they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And I have an upcoming thing that I want to do. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to do it, which kind of ties into exactly what you're saying, Kill. Because for all of us here, most of you guys in the chat, maybe all of you, when you have an appreciation for these films that is worth a lot of years of your life, I mean that shows something. Whether it's a franchise or a particular movie or a character or whatever, an actor, whatever it is, and it is something special, and especially when you can find something that you connect to. But again, a lot of hoops that they had to jump through. Is part 7 a perfect Friday the 13th movie? Absolutely not. And we'll
Pretty
get
damn
to our
close.
we'll
At
get
least
to
if you
our
ask me.
well, what I was about to say is we're going to get to our rankings at some point, but just to say that, but it's still a really good one in my opinion. There was so
Yeah.
many good things, man. Frenzy was saying part 2 is my all-time favorite. Sackhead is horrifying, but nothing beats that hockey mask. It's beyond iconic. That's so true, man. I mean, when people see a hockey mask, they think of Jason Voorhees more than they think of the sport of
Yes.
hockey,
Yeah,
right?
they do.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
My man Frank from The Harsh Truth saying, "What's up, my fellow film fans listening while I work? Keep killing it, my friends." Thanks a lot, man. We appreciate
Thank you.
that. We appreciate that. Steven was saying, "Yes, Killian, do a show on the biggest pieces of you know what." Hey, look, we'll do it.
It's so many.
We'll do it.
It's so many.
Right, there
Hey,
is.
Brian Dennehy from Rambo,
Yes,
Galt
yes.
from Rambo,
Yep.
Absolutely, man.
the mayor
Galt.
from Jaws that wouldn't shut the
Yes.
beach down. It's a lot of y'all.
I liked it when he said to him, "I don't think you understand, Martin. This is a summer town." It's like,
Yeah.
dude, there's a shark that fucking just killed people. What are you talking about?
Guys in the
dollar bills.
guys in the comments, let us know some of your favorite pieces of crap, and we will make this happen. Please.
Corey saying, "I don't care what folks say. There's got to be a restorable print of the uncut version somewhere in the world, right?" Man, that would be so cool. I'd jump on that so quick, man.
Same.
Yeah. Restore the gore, and it's better than part 4. Just saying. Oh, wow, Corey. Okay, wow. That's okay.
I'm right there with you.
I
Hey,
think
look.
I think I'm there too.
Hey, look, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'd have to. Yeah, it would make me think for a little bit. It really would. It really would. The uncut sleeping bag kill is literally the craziest thing ever. Yeah, man, it is. It really is. When I first saw that, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" He just beat her against a tree. Who does that?
Yeah.
But anyways, Jason Voorhees, right? But anyways, guys, as we head on out here, and I wanted to show you guys Tina's dad at the end. What we saw, and even the actor said, is basically he just looks like a dirty guy. He comes out of lake. He's a dirty guy. He's been in the lake for fucking, at least a decade, right? Because Tina was a kid when she, killed him. But this is what he was supposed to look like. Let me show this.
Yes,
that's what he was
would have looked so much better,
right?
Nice.
And it would have made sense. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that would have made sense, man. But unfortunately, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
That's ridiculous.
And of course, the iconic Lar Park Lincoln, who also had a really cool role in 13 Fanboy. I know we keep talking about 13 Fanboy, but it makes sense because it was a really, really cool movie. Another shot of the circular saw, too, man. I mean, that scene in and of itself was just great.
I mean, look at that coming at you. Look at that.
Yeah. And the thing of it is, and don't get me wrong, Ted White, CJ Graham, all those guys, and obviously you guys know my affinity for Richard Brooker. They all had great things that they did, but it was something about Kane. Like even in this shot with the circular saw, it's almost like he's talking to you, like exactly what his motivation is. It's almost like he has this look like you're fucked, man, and he's not even saying anything, and that's how good he was physically. I mean, look at this. Look at that guy.
That looks good.
He's not having a good day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn. But anyways, guys, but let's go to a couple of fun facts that we want to throw at you guys as we start heading on out. And one of the funniest things, and I'll start with this one first, Coriander, and then we'll talk about Kane. But Kane wore the makeup. He was dressed as Jason walking around the woods after the shoot, and someone had seen him in the woods and asked him a stupid ass question like saying, "Are you part of the movie shoot?" And Kane, being Kane, if you've ever met or if you read stuff about Kane, he took it and just was like, he ran with it. He grunted at the guy and lunged at him. The guy like basically shit his pants and ran off. But funny stuff like that. But Coriander, let's start with the whole idea of entering the Kane Hodder era.
Yeah, John Carl Buechler was so impressed with Kane Hodder when he ate live worms on set of Prison that he pushed for Paramount Pictures to let him cast Hodder in the role of Jason.
All
Yeah.
right.
If not,
Very,
it would
very
have been
cool.
reprised by C.J. Graham.
Right, right. Yeah, because the studio wanted CJ to come back. That's right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
All right. Kill, let's go to the next one.
Freddy wasn't ready yet.
This film was originally intended to bring Jason versus Freddy together on screen for the first time. However, when Paramount and New Line Cinema couldn't agree behind the scenes, the script was rewritten to pit Jason up against the telekinetic Tina Shepard.
All right, all right. Our next one, the Crystal Lake era, as in
The
mistake.
documentary, the documentary Crystal Lake Memories reported in 2012 that actress Susan Jennifer Sullivan passed away from cancer. They tracked the wrong woman. She's still alive in Southern California.
Nice. And I'm
Mm,
so glad to hear that. That's awesome to hear, man. That's really
yeah.
cool to hear. And our last one we have is good old Crazy Ralph returned.
Yeah, as the narrator.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love that
Yeah.
narration in the beginning of when I watched that as a kid, that already got me going in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? In the chat, Steven was saying, nothing can touch Jason X. Let's go to space, baby.
Yeah, that's
we'll
a
be
fun one.
we'll be going to space, man. But before we go to
Yeah, we
space,
will.
we're gonna travel through some dark territory first, man. We gotta go through some dark. We got
Oh,
some dark
stop,
moments.
you
You
guys.
know we do. And I don't know if
Man.
Frenzy. Listen, I don't know if Frenzy is still in the chat, but I know earlier he was saying how this movie really took the franchise in an interesting direction. And what I wanted to ask Frenzy is how interesting is it in the next couple episodes for you? Because we had some dark moments, man. We had some dark moments. Sean also saying it was like Jason versus Carrie. Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yes, I
No
loved
doubt.
it.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
Mhm.
Corey said Coriander got it out for Melissa tonight. God damn.
Yeah, she does.
Right.
Well, that bitch deserved it. Come on, y'all know I'm right.
in the face. Right?
Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so. And by the way, guys, if you could please, and we talked about this the other night, and so I'm gonna take a moment to do this because we have one of our viewers. I know he's gonna keep getting on me about it because he's like, oh man, you were talking about me. We have a viewer that's been a very, very big supporter of the channel, watched a lot of our videos, plus a lot of our older videos, and he did not know that liking the video and leaving a comment would support the channel as far as the video itself. He really didn't know it. He would watch our videos, but he wouldn't like the videos or whatever, even though he did like them, right? So I want to say this, and I'm going to say it for a while because it made me realize that some people may not know this. But if you appreciate what we do, hopefully you do. If you like the video you're watching, hopefully you do. The best way to support the channel is two things: like the video and leave us a comment. And I know sometimes people may not have a lot of time, but even right now, you can leave a comment on the video just saying, hey, good stream, or put a thumbs up or whatever. It only takes a second, guys. And especially when we see people in the live chat, but we don't see them in the comments, it's like, oh man. And we know that you guys support the channel or you support the videos, but that's the best way that you can support us. So I just want to throw that out there because we actually had a viewer who did not know that that's what would really help the videos. So just to put that out there. Patrick's in the chat saying hello. What's going on, Patrick?
Hey.
And Steven saying Slasher Movie Club is the bomb. Thanks, man. Very, very cool. Let's see. Brendan saying, I like the character Kate. She was cool, pretty. I felt bad when she died. I didn't like Dr. Cruz. He was mean. He really was. He really was, man. There's no doubt. Anthony saying, I just picked up the DVD of Crystal Lake Memories now. I need to get Never Sleep Again. Yes, you should get that as well, because I'm going to be honest, man, as good as Crystal Lake Memories is, Never Go to Sleep Again, that's a good one. Never Sleep Again, that's a good one for the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Very, very good, to be quite honest. Let's see. Anthony was saying Brian Dennehy from the Assault on Precinct 13. Yeah, that's true too, man. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, absolutely. Good call, man. But, anyways, guys, as we get ready to head on out, final thoughts, Kill. Final thoughts for what could be, and I don't want to tease the next episode, but what could be our last fun Friday the 13th for a few weeks. What do you think about the new blood?
At least one. Come on.
Hey, look,
Okay,
man,
look,
I'm not gonna ruin it, but we're going into dark territory. You know that, Coriander.
I'm gonna go back to something I said a little earlier about
Right.
the last movie being the end of the Tommy Jarvis trilogy, and then this one, and how it's like a double bang bang of good. Whew, man, after this one, we're gonna get like a double punch of bad, in my opinion. But hey, that's just my humble opinion. Still fun movies because, like you guys said, with what you're doing on the slasher club, movies, these movies are Academy Award winners compared to other things. Even the low points, even the valleys in this franchise, the valleys in the Halloween franchise, the valleys, if there are any, in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, they are all they are all tops beyond some of the stuff that you guys have been watching, some of the stuff that came out in that, that 70s 80s era. But it's still gonna be fun. Please tune in, guys, because like Knight says all the time, we are going into dark territory, but it's gonna be fun territory because we're going to Canada soon.
Yeah, we are. Vancouver, baby. Pack your bags. Pack your bags, man.
Yeah.
Corey, before I get to you, let me catch up with this here. Corey says Kane Harder is probably at home now watching an exclusive restored cut of the new Blood on 4K, laughing at us thirsty horror fans. Right? He sure would be laughing too, man. Kane's like that. There could be a way to do it, man. I hope so. That'd be great, man. My boy Strange Monkey in the chat saying, I'm stuck at work, but I'm stopping by to say hello. Kane Harder rocks. The Crazy Ralph intro was the best, and long live the Night Watch Zone. Thanks, man. We appreciate that, brother. Yeah. We appreciate that. And look at DMC, and I know DMC loves Jason Takes Vancouver, and he says light territory for me, Night, with part 8. Hey, DMC, all right. It's all good, man. Because like Killian said, even with the low points or the movies, and I don't want to make it sound like that. We're playing around a little bit. Like I can watch every single movie in this franchise and have fun. Yes. all three of us have the box sets. So that pretty much
we bought this franchise numerous times.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. Numerous. I can't speak for you two, but I have bought this entire franchise at least 3 to 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, VHS, DVD, Blu-ray 4K/digital.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. No doubt. Flamethrower saying, just saying hi. 5 of my friends have different live streams going on right now. Wow. I know how it is, man. But thanks for stopping by, though. We appreciate that. Right? We truly do. And we know there's a lot of other great streams on too, man. We appreciate that. Barnabas saying, always a thumbs up here. You guys rock. Hey, look, man, we appreciate that.
Thank you.
We really, really do. We really, really do. And my man Steven taking care of us from the back door saying, smash the thumbs up button now. And look who's here. Brother Ben.
Nice.
Awesome Ben from the Cadaver Club himself saying, I am the Night Watch. Ben, one of these days, I'm going to get you on video saying that because you gave me an idea for that, man. So, watch out. And there he is right there. Blucka saying thumbs are the most important part of the hand. I learned recently. Yeah, right. I am the Ice Lord. I am the Ice Lord saying, what's up, everyone? What's up? Nice to see you. All right. And Steven's heading on out. We'll catch you later. Take it easy, brother. I'll be talking to you.
Take it easy.
Sean saying, I have love for Jason Takes it was go to hell where it really kind of fell off. Yeah.
Come on, guys, stop hating.
Stop. You know the truth. The truth. Deep down in your southern heart, you know the truth.
What? I'm not from the South. What the hell are you talking about?
That's just some slang. Don't worry about it. Ben saying, awesome anytime, Night. Thanks a lot, man. We appreciate it. All right, man. We got to head out here. We're talking and having way too much fun. But that's why we love talking about Friday the 13th. And one thing I really hope is that for you guys watching this live or on replay, I hope that you can kind of get that from us when we talk about Friday 13th, and it doesn't matter which one. It's a fun time, guys. And I think that's what makes it our favorite horror franchise. And if we can share any of that with people, it's a win. So that's why we do this stuff. But anyways, we'll be going to Vancouver soon. Hopefully, you guys will join us for that.
Jason.
We do, and it's like why? Like,
right?
You look at Kane in this one. Kane was in the water longer between 6 and 7 than he was between 7 and 8. I'm like, why did they change his appearance so much? It's like, you know. But anyways, we will catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Check us out. Share us out. You know what I'm talking about. Bluck is you in the Night Watch Zone, right? Right? Absolutely, man. We'll catch you guys later. Take it easy. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace out.
Peace.
Church.